The team is really a big fan of these, a huge fan of co-op. So as we got more into it, we said, okay, co-op is the game. Co-op's not a mode. And if you think about other games, co-op's kind of an add-on. So we were thinking, like, wouldn't it be really, really cool if you could make a game that was totally focused on co-op? And then people were like, yeah, that caught on. And then we came up with the idea for private military corporations to sort of make that the universe around which co-op fits. So that's the genesis of all this. And we've been really fortunate. EA's been a huge supporter and been really excited by the work that we've been doing. So it's mushroomed from there, and we're psyched about it.
Do you feel at all that you're making any sort of political statement with it, or is it just kind of more just awareness with the game?
This is not education we're doing right here. This is very much entertainment, but at the same point, if someone plays the game, they're like, wow, is this stuff kind of real? Is the U.S. government really paying these private military corporations to do these black operations work that they don't want to kind of get their hands in? And people figure that stuff, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. One interesting thing to me is that, sometimes the PMCs have access to weapons or other technology that the guys in the Army don't. And I mean, is that something that you'll see in the game too?
Yeah, it's a really interesting dynamic because you've got these guys in military service who are confined by a certain set of rules, and then you've got these guys like private military contractors, who are civilian contractors for private military corporations. They're not exactly governed by the same sets of rules, and they can go and take operations that the U.S. Army or the U.S. Armed Forces wouldn't want to partake in.
Right.
The big thing we had is we had standard shooting controls, right? We have a precision mode, a suppression mode. You have your whole arsenal of weapons, and what we want to do is we really want to make this a two-player experience. So besides just the actual mechanics of what do I have to do with you to get past this hard gate, what can I do with you that'll make the gameplay more fun, make it better, and actually somewhat change the challenge. Like you saw some of the enemies before where there's an enemy that cannot be harmed from the front. So you have to use our new aggro system to get one guy to really pretty much take the brunt of all his shots, have him focus on you. The other guy can weave his way around the back, take him out with a melee attack, shoot him, whatever.
How did you actually come up with that aggro meter then? And
Well, aggro is a fairly common thing nowadays. Like most people say, you hear, you think RPGs and whatnot, but it never really existed in the shooter space. And in the shooter space, what do you always do? You fight your enemy and you kill them, right? We wanted a way for you to interact where you actually manipulate the enemy. Where with one person, it's really hard to do. You could have a decoy or something, right, and manipulate the enemy that way. But it's one experience with just you. Now with two players, using the aggro system where you're sort of ping-ponging between player A and player B, who has the attention of the enemies, and then from there, it just expands the gameplay because you're actually playing the AI. You're not playing against the AI, you're manipulating them for your needs.
You remember going back when you were playing like Contra, you're playing, Contra with your buddy. That was the experience that we want people to go have, where it's completely over the top. It's crazy. There's explosions everywhere. It's super fun. That's the co-op experience we wanted to have. Or people, when you were playing like Double Dragon with your friend years ago, we actually we went back a lot. We looked at what was really cool about those games back on the 8-bit systems, and that's what we wanted to translate into this next gen.